Two.
Yay!
Hey! Hello, Doodle and Chat friends. I'm Carrie Baughcum.
And I'm Mandi Tolen.
And this is Doodle and Chat with Friends. And today we have Melody McAllister. Did I say the last name right?
Yes.
Woohoo! Here with us, and we're so super excited. Mandi, do you want to share a little bit more about what we know about this amazing woman?
I do. And I just learned some more, so I'm going to try to add it in. So our guest joins us tonight from Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. She's the mom of 5, lover of makeup, and the author of the book, I'm Sorry Story. Melody has something in common with both Carrie and myself, aside from education. So she shares the same birthday with Carrie, which is really cool.
That's right.
And doing some research, I found out she went to the same college that I went to. And then when I asked questions, she actually lived in the same town that I live in now. It's where she grew up. So I think that's really awesome. And of course, she's a Royals fan because you have to.
Yes. Always royal, raised royal, all of
That's
it.
right.
Chiefs Kingdom.
That's right. Oh, all of that. Absolutely. So in 2017, she was the Garland NAACP Educator of the Year, and she has worked as the logistics manager for EduMatch, as well as providing social media support for entrepreneurs and small businesses. She's currently the events and marketing specialist for Spaces. So I'm excited to welcome Melody McAllister to Doodle and Chat tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. I've seen your guys' show and I love it. It always makes me laugh, whether it's live or the replays. So thank you for having me. I love that you're a Scorpio, Carrie, and Mandi, that we have the St. Joe Mo connection. So cool.
That's right.
It's so trippy. Like the little, we say 6 degrees of Doodle and Chat here. And so there's just another degree of Doodle and Chat where we're connected to one of our guests. It's so fun. So fun.
So it's a small world after all. I'm just sorry. Okay, sorry.
So you said that you have watched a couple episodes, so you must know about the bowl that knows.
Yes.
And what it holds here with us. So in here, the bowl that knows holds some very special Just Melody questions. Because Mandi and I love to do our research, and we've had some help from some special friends of yours as well.
Oh my!
In gathering information, and then there's a few random just for fun questions, and the bowl will decide if we get to those or not. So we're going to turn our drawing cameras on. Did you bring paper and pen or paper and pen?
Yes.
You.
And I got to tell you this. So I've had this sketch pad since I started following you, like in 2016 or 17. I think it was 2016. It might have been even as early as 2015. I love sketchnoting, and I started following Carrie, and I got this, and I thought, oh, maybe my old sketches are in there when I started learning and trying, but they're not. I don't know where they are, but at least the sketch pad is here.
Oh, that makes me so happy. 2016. So we go way back. I didn't even realize.
You don't even know you're my Shiro, so.
Aww.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
And I got markers, and I got pencils. I'm set. Yes.
Awesome. So we're going to turn our drawing cameras on.
And we'll pull from the... Ooh, what happened? Oh, I got to mute myself. That would help.
Oh, it's good.
Now we go. Now we're good. Huh? Did you mute me?
Yep.
All right.
It's good.
We're going to turn Mandi's camera on.
She's like, no Mandi tonight.
Add Mandi's to the stream. Add to stream. Where your button is.
No Mandi. Uh-oh.
It's your mic. And...
Do you want to? Oh, do you want to not mute this one?
And you want to mute that one? Oh. Hello.
Hello. Hey, it's the classy Doodle and Chat.
Did you mute me?
You have to turn that one up.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Producers, so bossy. So bossy. They think they know.
I do know.
Is that better? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start by, I know Mandi, so she's got her title already down. I'm always a step behind Mandi.
Because I do mine ahead of time because I have to practice the people.
My youngest is joining us, Whit.
Yes.
Who I named after Whit Merrifield of the Royals, Mandi.
Nice.
Yes. It was very hard to convince my husband, but I did.
So were you in Texas at the time?
I was, yes.
So yeah, that was probably
Yeah.
a big stretch.
Well, he's not from Texas either. He's from
Okay.
Alabama, so he doesn't care about baseball at all.
Okay.
But he just felt that it was weird that I wanted to name. We have like Madeline and Benjamin and all these, like kind of traditional names, and then I wanted him to be Whit. So
So I teach with a guy, and his son's name is Brett, after George Brett.
nice.
Yep.
George Brett is always a hero in our eyes.
Absolutely. I remember him from when I was young.
Me too.
So I added a little heart only because I know that when you put your makeup on,
I love that.
you like to put your little hearts on your cheeks for your blush before you do your schmoozing.
Yes. And I did it tonight too, just so you know.
All right. All right. Let's see what the bowl has for us for the first question. Oh, we've got sound effects. We must have upgraded. We must have upgraded, Mandi.
What is the best part of hosting Book Chat and co-hosting Thrive and EDU?
Oh my gosh, I love that. My book chat, the best part of it is that I get to meet all these people that, I've learned from for so long, and they usually send me books. So I get a lot of free books out of it. So that's really fun. And then it didn't used to be that way, but now like people actually watch it. So now people send me the book. I used to just buy all the books, but I know I sound so cheap right now, but that's cool. Like getting books in your mail. Oh my goodness, that's the best kind of mail ever to get. And then to actually get to sit with these people. I read every single book, then I talk about it with them. And then of course with Rochelle and Thrive and EDU, I just like, hanging out with her. And I always try really hard to make her get mad at me or be like, Melody, stop it, or you're pushing it too far, Melody, or just and we play some fun games, and I love hanging out with her, and she always brings in some amazing people, and so it's always a fun show. And that's how I met Carrie for the first time.
That is how we met.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Ryan with us as well as Anna. I know they're joining us. I saw them sharing all the Doodle and Chat love on Twitter, and so they're here joining us. Welcome, friends. That's right.
Hey, Ryan and Anna.
I'm just trying to think about what you said about book chat.
Free books.
Yes.
And I get to read them.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Do I just draw do I need to put my name in the center too, or is that weird?
You
No,
can doodle whatever you want.
Okay, great.
Or nothing at all. It's whatever you would like to do.
I love hearts. My favorite earrings are with me as inspiration. My heart earring, my cassette tape earring. Like I was like, I might have to draw cassette tape. So
there you go. Yes, do it for sure. Maybe that's the center of it. The things
that yes,
your earrings.
If you have any worries, a wise woman once told me there are no rules.
Yes. I love that. Is that the producer talking?
Yes.
And that wise woman is also correct. Not me, but that wise woman is correct. There are no rules.
I love it.
My Hannah's favorite thing is when they're doing something in school and I go, I think I read a book about that said something about that. And they go, yeah, Mom, we know. It's you.
So you said free books, and then I know you said something else, and
she loves to give Rochelle a hard time.
Yeah. Rochelle always tells me before we go live, she's like, don't say that, Melody. She's like, you can't say that, Melody. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure about that? But so I kind of like push the envelope. But we complement each other very well. She's very prepared and I'm very spontaneous. So, And I know by her eyes when I've taken it too far. Look at her eyes. She's so funny. And I do social media. I didn't realize that you like can be a content creator just because you want to be. You know, the pandemic, I just started doing that book chat because I didn't have anything better to do, you know, and I was reading all these books, buying all these books, and I thought, well, maybe these people want to, you know, chat with me. And we were all at home, and it was fun. People, I was like, hey, I need a guest to come on my show, and people were like, I'll come on your show. People I hadn't spoken 2 words to, they're like, I'll be on your show, and I'm like, this is great, I love it, and it just became a thing. I'm not on, and I took a break this summer, but what, like, if I'm not on, somebody will usually text me, hey, where's your show tonight? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I can't believe you care that much. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is fun. It's fun how you can create a community just by recording, really, right?
Yeah. And I love that you said that community, because I mean, that's really what's gotten me through the last couple of years, especially moving here. When I moved to Alaska, I thought, dang, all the networking I had done previously, and just, you know, thinking my life was going in one direction. I was like, that's all over now. I'm going to have to start from scratch. But really, my life took off after we moved here, and the connections that I had, especially online with amazing educators, they grew even deeper. And it was something that really surprised me and opened up a lot of doors as well. That's when I started working for EduMatch. And I had contributed to Mandi Freilich's book, The Fire Within. And I was like, hey, I've got a children's book. And that's how that all came about. And then they're like, hey, we see you don't have a job anymore. Do you want to be our logistics manager? Like, that's great. Yes, sign me up.
Very cool.
The world of Twitter and social media, its ability to connect us is an amazing place. It continues to keep me in awe of people, yes, and its power.
We really wrote a dissertation on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, using social media with educators. That was what my dissertation was on. And I also find it very powerful. So.
Oh, I would like to read that. Are you going to make it a book?
I don't know if I'll make it a book. It is published because it's a dissertation, but maybe. I don't know.
So like if I Google you, I could read your dissertation?
You could. Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool. How many pages is a dissertation?
A lot of pages, but you really just want like the last chapter. That's the important part. It's the last chapter. So.
How many chapters is it?
5 chapters.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
Chapter 4 is the math. Chapter 5 is what the math means. So,
okay, I'll read chapter 5. I'm not really good at math.
She's the statistic brain in this group, so you know. Are we ready for another question?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Oh, this is a hefty question.
Oh my God, I love these ones. Come on, bring it.
Okay, got it. I got it. You once wrote, one of my best qualities is jumping in with my whole heart, and one of my worst qualities is jumping in with my whole heart. What has been your most memorable whole heart moment?
I said that?
You did. You wrote it on your blog.
Gosh, sometimes I don't even realize the things I say, but it is true. You know, I think the scariest thing was just like, I think my husband and I taking this leap, you know, moving to Alaska, leaving everything behind, all the people that we love so much, taking a chance, thinking that this could be a new beginning for us and for our children, an opportunity that we wouldn't be able to provide otherwise. Like, I think that is probably the biggest thing I've ever done. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, since then, I feel like almost every other day there's something big. And now that I know how to say yes to those things, you know, I do. Something that has happened to just the last few years is questioning everything that I grew up knowing. You know, I came from a very, very conservative upbringing, and some of that was very toxic. Not all of it. Like, I'm not trying to make anybody mad, but there were some things about my faith, my spiritual life that I started questioning. And I think that people that are able to question the things that they grew up learning are really brave. And I will consider myself one of those people, because it's, it's a difficult journey and it's not very fun. So the last few years, I've really been questioning everything, and probably just kind of like relearning some of the things that I was tethered to, and finding that there's just so much more to live for. There's so many more beliefs out there. People are amazing and they have so much to offer if you just, take some time and talk with them and learn from them. And really just that one way of thinking that I grew up almost clinging to, because that gave me a lot of confidence, I think, in my younger years, thinking I knew everything. And now I know that I don't even know half of what I need to know. I mean, like, it's crazy, but that's been a difficult journey. That's something I think about almost daily, because I feel like I've been transformed as a human in a lot of ways. And yeah, did I answer the question? I mean, that was a really deep question. So
It was.
I'll have to go back to that blog.
Well, you have two. I spent a lot of time with you on your blog from the beginning through to current, and so those words really resonated with me, because I find that I had that same quality, and I really do, like you, try to really connect with the positives more than the negatives. I mean, there's not always great leaps, but there's always a reason in the good and the bad that something's supposed to happen.
That's the Scorpio in us, Carrie.
Is it?
It is. And Scorpios, we can use all of that good for good or for bad. We choose to use it for good. But that's the way that we're wired.
Yeah. And I also find, like you are coming to, is the more I leap, the better I get at it. And the more it's worth it,
Yes, for sure. I mean, there's so much life out there. You've really got to embrace that. And that's so pretty. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. I love it. Oh, I love what you guys are doing.
Get what you're drawing, Melody?
Okay, wait. Let me outline my thing. I'll show it in just a second.
Okay.
So while she does
I made
that,
a cassette tape.
Oh, you're doing your cassette tape. I would say I really appreciated your answer to that. And I actually feel like maybe we've been on a very similar journey. As you answered that question, I was shaking in my head going, I've walked those shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I've walked in those shoes, definitely. So I appreciate your answer.
Thank you. And it's not an easy journey. And a lot of people are like, you know what? I can't be friends with you anymore. I've been broken up, like literally broken up with by very close friends of mine in a very painful way for these things. And even, things with my family, they're not that great. But the thing is I could never be anybody than who I am. And I can't transform to fit anybody's ideal. I don't want to. And the more that we embrace learning, and I feel like, God gave us a brain, and the worst thing we could do with it is waste it, like thinking for ourselves, doing the work to become a better version of ourselves is worth everything, even the loss,
Yep.
So it's also taught me a lot about forgiveness, self-forgiveness, forgiving others, even the people that hurt us so much. Like sometimes when I feel like they're having too much space in my head, and I'm fighting that petty feeling, I just start praying that they'll find the healing that they need as well in their life. That's something that I do regularly, because it feels like it happens a lot.
Yeah. And something else that struck with me, I know we've had some private conversations, but just in hearing you say what you just said, I think also these opportunities to have these experiences make us more understanding and unconditionally loving to the people around us. And I'm certain, at least in my life, that those experiences have happened because of either the people in my life that I have come into contact with or my own children. And there was a reason why I needed to learn how to love unconditionally. And it's because of that experience that I'm able to do that now,
Yes. Amen to that, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And finally learning what unconditional love feels like, what it looks like, that's been a major thing of transformation for me. And you think, you're told, like when you grow up like I did and you grow up in the church, that's always what it's all about. But really you don't find it there. I never found it there. I always felt like so much shame growing up, so much shame for my thoughts, shame for the books I like to read. Because guys, I love reading like the hottest, smuttiest books that you can find. Those are the books that I love. And now I'm like, I love those books. They are a part of me. And I don't feel shame for any of them. I grew up feeling shame for my body. I grew up feeling shame that like for the good things that I could achieve as well. Like I was told that I needed to be humble and nothing was usually celebrated. It was always like this, pushing down. So it took me to like, I was like 39 years old and I started looking in the mirror, like literally looking in the mirror. I'm not talking figuratively. And I just thought, you know what? You're never going to change if you don't start loving yourself, if you don't start talking to yourself, the way that you talk to other people when you're trying to encourage them. Why don't you take some of that energy and put it on yourself? And I just started, it sounded so crazy at first, like looking in the mirror, talking to myself, like nice things. It was just weird. It was the weirdest experience. And then like every day I would do it. When I took a shower and I put my lotion on, I would literally tell the limbs that I was putting lotion on, like, thank you for, like my legs, thank you for, helping me walk. And my belly, I've had 5 kids, so it's kind of stretched. I mean, not kind of, it is totally. I'm like, thank you for carrying these children. You're incredible. Like I found something good to talk about, the things that I hated about myself. And the last few years has been just, 3 years of real transformation. And then one day I was like, oh my gosh, I really do like myself. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. And Mandi, just knowing, the conversations Mandi and I have even had, it's definitely something I think women of our age can relate to. We'll get back to the bowl in a second, but I feel like just today, Annabeth was like, Mom, you look nice. And the words that came to my head, the first thing I wanted to say, oh, does it look like I lost weight or do I look skinnier today? And I had to stop myself because, and I said, you mean you like my shirt and my jeans? And she's like, yes, Mom. And I had to be like, you guys have no idea the world we grew up in. Like it's wired in our head for our self-worth to be connected to if we're working out and if we're eating well and if we're losing weight. And so it's a total mind shift. And it's so hard. It's so ingrained,
Yes, I do know. And I mean, it really is. And I mean, every once in a while I get back on that train and it's usually when I'm comparing myself to somebody else that's when I usually feel it the most. But yeah, like knowing that I can love myself, I'm heavier than I feel like I lose weight and then I gain it back +5 every single time that I start to lose weight. So I don't even talk about my journey anymore, losing weight, because I don't really care about it. Because my thing is I'm always going to try to take care of myself. There are going to be times I fail. There are going to be times I win. And it is my own journey. As long as I don't give up on myself, I'm just going to keep on going on that journey. And I can love myself now as I am, because even if I were in my wildest dreams to lose 100 pounds or maybe a 4th grader, you know what I'm saying? Like I would have to lose a 4th grader to be like my dream goal. I wouldn't love myself. You know what I mean? I would still hate myself. If I can't find a way to love myself now, I certainly won't love myself then either. So yeah.
100%.
For sure. Okay, I don't have much because I'm talking, but I will show that this is the first cassette tape I've ever drawn.
It is amazing.
Really good cassette tape. Yeah.
Very good cassette tape. I don't think I've drawn many cassette tapes in my experience. It was fun to draw your earrings. I got to draw cassette tape earrings, so that was fun.
They're my favorite. I wear these earrings, I have this like tan and black and white and black, and they're from local artists. They're from clay, and I love them.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Should we see what else the bowl holds?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It has had some
We're extra chatty today.
questions today.
It has been.
Yes. Did your producer make these
I
questions?
pulled a random one.
No, she just pulls them. Aunt Mandi and I do all the work.
Okay. Awesome.
Do all the hard work.
She's here for the show.
Yeah.
She's here to make us look good.
We'll take it.
It's hard work. Sorry, we think we're hysterical. At least I do.
No matter how you're feeling, your kids will always tell you. They'll always tell you.
What is your go-to karaoke song? The song that shows off you.
Oh my gosh. Oh God, I can do You're So Vain. Oh my gosh, like nobody's business. I wish it were Eye of the Tiger. I tried the Eye of the Tiger for so many years, but I smoked a lot when I was younger, and I think I have nodes or something. Like I cannot get to those like yelling. But You're So Vain by Carly Simon. Oh, that song is phenomenal. It is timeless, and it is just my range. So Yeah.
So 2 movies popped into my head when you said that.
Rocky?
No. So You're So Vain from How to Lose a Guy in
10 Days?
10 Days.
Yes.
That's the song that they sing.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. How cool. I have seen that movie.
Obviously Pitch Perfect for the nodes.
Oh my gosh. We are such Pitch Perfect fans here. Oh my gosh. We love Pitch Perfect. Yes. And Mariah Carey, honestly, before she got divorced from the Sony guy. After that, I like her music now and it's all right, but her music when I was growing up was the best.
Hi, Ryan.
Yeah. Do you guys karaoke often?
I can't sing.
Annabeth's true. Annabeth cannot sing. I did in my younger days. Summer Lovin' was always my go-to with a partner because then you got power in numbers.
Yes.
Mine usually involves a beverage.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. Like never without one. That's for sure. And I also like to think that I sing way better than I do. My kids will tell you that when I sing in the car. So
I'm in the shower. I sing so wonderfully. It's ridiculous. Somebody sign me up. This girl, she's amazing. But in real life, I don't know. Like I definitely don't sing as well as I think. But I sing all the time. That's one of the things that I do with my students and my own kids. Just music is so important to our family. And usually it's my playlist, so I get to control all that, and my kids just accept it. Now, my little 4-year-old loves Lizzo. He's like, it's about damn time. He says it all the time. And Mac is like, no, it's about dang time. And he's like, no, it's about damn time.
Lizzo said it, Daddy. Come on. She's the goddess. We got to respect her.
He will pull it up on YouTube. The kid can't read, but he knows how to find Lizzo. And my oldest son is like, not Lizzo again. Not Lizzo again. I was like, yes, Lizzo again. This boy is smart.
That is fantastic.
He can't read, but he can find Lizzo on YouTube.
Yes.
That's wonderful. I love
He
it.
can even sing her. He knows it.
Parenting victory.
Yeah. And my husband doesn't cuss. He is so kind and he's so patient. It's weird that he's married to me, but we compliment.
Oh my God. We could be twins. We could be twins because that is my husband. Not a profanity. I don't think I ever have heard him. And then
I've heard him cuss.
And I, on the other hand.
I know it's terrible. I don't think it sounds right when he cusses. He should not cuss because when he does cuss, it sounds terrible. It doesn't even sound right. It's like, you shouldn't be saying that. You don't know how to cuss. You shouldn't say it because you have to say it with a lot more passion than that, But he really, he's like the opposite of me. And, but he's finally kind of gotten it. Like she cusses, and she likes cuss words and songs. And he would, a couple of years ago, he would have been like, if Whit had said it's about damn time, or any of our kids, he would have been like, oh my gosh, like you are just, not doing this right. Like we've got to re-examine everything. And now he's just like, it is what it is.
I will say that I think that's something all three of us have in common. My husband's not a big swearer. I feel like it's the perfect accent to add on any sentence. A nice swear word at the right moment. It's a beautiful accent.
Agreed.
So, and I've raised 2 children that swear too.
I think in cuss words, y'all. I'm keeping all my cuss words back.
Me too. I filter.
This is not my first language.
Yes, I agree with you. I feel lucky every day that I can go to school and code shift and not swear at school.
I've cussed in front of my students. No one's ever told on me. I didn't mean to usually. I would tell my boss, listen, this is what I said today. This is what happens. If any parents call, I said this and you should know. No parents ever called on me, No kids told. But also, I didn't write up my kids for cussing. I just thought, well, they're mad. As long as they're not telling me to F off, I don't really care.
Right.
Or called somebody else a name.
Right. I have had, I had a kid last year, wasn't mine, called me the B word, since we probably have kids watching. And I looked at him, I said, you were right, but you can't say it to me. Sorry. Because he wasn't wrong. So. And of course, he just stood there and looked at me. I'm like, you can't say it. Just keep it to yourself. I also didn't write him up because I mean,
And also, I take that as a compliment, just so you know.
I
You
mean,
just scored 5 points.
accurate statement. So
I did have a 5th grader call another 5th grade girl a bitch. Sorry, I was supposed to say the B word.
That's
So
okay.
he called her that at lunch, and I brought him in, and I said, I said his name, and I was like, you can't call a girl that. And well, actually, I said the word to him. I said, you can't call a girl a bitch. It's wrong, And he's like, and I said, I'm going to have to call your mom and let her know, because that kind of behavior is not okay. Like, it just, and I was good friends with his mom or whatever. And he's like, you just said the word. I'm going to tell my mom. And I said, I'm going to tell your mom first. Like, I'm going to tell her that I just said this. I'm going to say the word to her as well. And he was just like, oh my gosh. And that was probably the last time that I ever really called a parent to talk about cuss words, because really, if he hadn't just called another student that name, I probably would have just talked about it and let it go. But for girls growing up, we already get it so bad in so many ways. We just, that's kind of a teachable moment.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Well, my husband cracks me up. He's a high school vice principal, so he hears this language all the time.
Right.
And so he'll tell me stories, obviously never telling me kids' names, but he'll tell me stories, but he never says the words. He'll always say they said the F word or whatever. And we were driving home one day, and we don't always ride together, but on this day we were riding together, and he's telling a story and he just says the F word. And I sat there with my mouth open, like, what just happened? So I'm texting my friend. I'm like, my husband just said the F word. And he's like, oh my gosh, he's only been at our school 6 months and we've already corrupted him.
Is he at the same school with you?
He is.
Yes. Oh, wow. That sounds like a good romance book right there.
He is actually, you know what? We could write one.
You should. I'll read it.
I'd be down with that. I'd co-author that with you.
Yes.
He has actually been my boss at every school I've been at.
Oh my gosh. That sounds extremely sexy. All I'm going to say. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's amazing.
And even if it's not, you could write it that way.
Yes. Like, the worst things about romance books are the things that are the best. They're the steamiest, yeah. The things that I shouldn't say, I'm not going to say it because this is live and people will get, Yep. There's a romance author, Vi Keeland. I know she's one of them, and her co-author is Penelope, and they write the best romance books that I've ever read. And I usually read them on Kindle, and it's always about the boss man or whatever. So they're so sexist, but they're so sexy. I can't help it.
So my daughter and her friend actually have a podcast where they talk about books, and they usually talk about romance novels, and they read the steamy romance novels. And honestly, I also usually read the steamy romance novels because I like to know what books they're talking about. And so, yep, I have also read those.
Oh my gosh. Nice. Look at us. That's what St. Joe does to you.
We could be the same person, I'm thinking.
Yes. I used to take my older sister's romance novels, the thick ones, the juicy looking ones on the front. I would steal them, go into
the Harlequin romance.
Those and everything, even the big, terrible ones. But the Harlequin, yes, 198 pages of satisfaction. I would lock my door and I would read those suckers one after another, and nobody even knew I was home. They're like, "Where's Melody?" And if nobody could, I was like in 5th grade. That's how I learned about sex, or those books. And I had such that's the only bad thing, is that I had some really stupid notions about what love was because of those books. That was a little bad, but otherwise, man, those books were great. They got me through adolescence.
Even not the steamy ones, because my daughter read the Clockwork series. And it's just young author, and for the longest time she's like, that's the type of man I'm gonna marry. I'm like, honey, he's not real. This guy doesn't exist.
Written by a woman.
To marry
this is a dream man written by a woman.
That's right. He doesn't exist. That's not real. But I read them too, so I could be like, this is not how this is going to happen.
Right. Yep. I did get pretty close though. My husband's pretty amazing. He's really hot too. And he's very kind. He's very kind.
as is mine, and also hot. I will also.
Yes, I believe it. I mean, he's your boss. He's got to be hot. Watch out, guys. Well, every time we're like, hey, we're pregnant again. I know it's going to make a lot of people mad because we have too many kids. Some older women would always say, do you know how that happens? And I'm like, yeah, we're really good at it too. Like, of course we know how it happens. Like, this is not a surprise. He always said we were going to have like 7 kids and you know, before we were married. And I was just thinking, 7 kids? What in the world? I didn't think we were going to have any kids, or I never even imagined being a mom. And I just thought it was so crazy that he said that. But when we had our first child, I was like, I never even thought beyond her. I just thought, this is our child. You know, everything was girl stuff. I didn't even think that maybe I'd have a boy someday because it was just her. So it's funny that we have 5 kids, but I will say that we enjoyed every minute of making them.
Well, we have 4 children, so
nice.
I can. I'm not going to say I can relate because
Mandi knows how they're made too.
I do know how they're made. I do know how they're made. Yes.
I was very happy with 4, and that was it. Our last one was a surprise, but now I can't imagine life without him. But I mean, like 4 is, you know, that's a handful. It's a heartful.
Well, three was going to be it for us, and then our 4th one was also a surprise, and so.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, he is our only boy, and he is amazing. So.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, we have 2 boys and 3 girls.
Yep, I have my 3 girls. They keep you on your toes.
Yes, I read a statistic that said 3 or more girls in a relationship will usually end in divorce. Like it increases the parents' chances of divorce dramatically. I believe that. I believe it because, like, in my parents got divorced. There were 4 girls. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure it wasn't only because of us, but I know it couldn't have helped.
She's like, listen, we just doomed their marriage from the beginning.
You just got to work harder. Yeah. Like, also, my husband's older than me, like 13 years older than me. And when we first were dating and stuff, I didn't care about any of that. Like, it didn't even faze me. We didn't even look like we were that far apart. But the years haven't been as kind to him as they've been to me. But anyway, that's a whole other story. The first time somebody called him grandpa, I just laughed so hard. I thought it was hysterical until the next time they asked me if I was watching my grandchildren. I'm like, what? Just because he, you know, what? I was like, you've got it on me now, Mac. No, where was I going with this? I don't even know where I was going with that. Dang.
Well, this whole conversation
that
is
happens.
definitely one for the Doodle and Chat first column.
So my husband and I are actually really close in age, but we do not look like we're close in age. He looks a lot older than I do. And so we were in Walmart one time, and it was the celebratory Royals. They had like vodka in the bottle, but it was the Royals one. And so he put it in the cart and walked up to pay for it. And I didn't realize that all parties involved had to be 21 if you were checking out at Walmart, but apparently all parties involved have to be 21. And I didn't have my ID on me. And of course they didn't question him. He's got gray hair. And she looked at me and she's like, I need to see your ID. And I was like, why? I'm not buying this. And she's like, well, you're with him. And so I had a hat on at the time, and I popped my hat off because I hadn't had my hair done in a while. And I'm like, does the gray hair right here count? She's like, oh yeah, you're fine. So then I didn't know my ID, so we got to buy it.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. I know what I was going to say. I also read that statistically, if the man is 9 years older than the female spouse, then that also increases your chance of divorce. I don't know why I was obsessed with this when I was younger. I read all these different statistics when we were first married, and I would tell them. But I also understand why that would happen as well. So, because they think they're your dad, and you have to remind them, hey, I've already had a dad, and you're not it. So
yes.
And if my husband is watching, Mac, I love you. You're amazing, and you can get me back. Maybe on another live. I don't know.
She called you hot, so it's fine.
He is so hot. He is so hot. I couldn't imagine having children with anybody else. or wanting to have children with anybody else. Also, the shop is closed.
Okay, maybe we'll move right on to the next question in the bowl.
I'm sorry. This is how Rochelle feels.
You are so fine. It's so good. You're so fine. It's all good.
What hobby would be a lot of fun to get into?
What hobby
I'm
would
actually scared after our last conversation, just so you know.
you did?
What
What?
did you say?
I said I'm actually scared after our last conversation.
Oh yeah.
I know the books you've read.
Yes. I think, you know what, this is so crazy. And I feel like, so I'm 41 years old. And again, I've told you a little bit about my journey of like loving myself and accepting myself. And, you know, a couple of years ago, my oldest daughter, she's 13 now, but she's like, Mom, you know, I'd like to know a little bit more about makeup. And I'm like, great. Like, I am not the person. I still don't even know what I'm doing with makeup. So we started watching videos together. And I just started thinking, you know, I wish this had been around when I was younger because I would have known what to do with all this crazy stuff. So I started, she doesn't even care that much about makeup. I mean, she still probably can put her makeup on better than me. But I started like really getting into this. And of course, then the pandemic was, and I had some extra time on my hands, and I learned how to, you know, contour and use makeup in a better way. And now I just think it's fun. It's like, I love taking selfies, and I think that any woman could take a really sexy selfie. And I have some friends who are like, how do you make your selfies look so good? I'm like, you could do it too. It's all about the angles. So I think that, putting makeup on has been a fun hobby for me, like learning how to do that differently. Another thing is just like going live. Like, you guys go live so well. It's fun. Like, if you have that personality and I have that personality, like really like inviting the world into your space. You know, now that I'm not in Texas anymore and around people that I know very well, like I love going live, and I love creating content. I work a lot with Alice Keeler, and she would and I don't blog for her as much as I was, but because now I blog for Spaces a lot more. But I mean, just being able to create content and then share it with the rest of the world in your blogs, that has just been I never thought I would be a content creator. And now I'm looking at Instagram, and my reels are absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and it shows. And I know that. Like, I'm not thinking that I'm anything but what I am. But I love putting stuff out there and getting better at it. And I think that learning now is so much more fun than it ever was when I was younger, because I don't care that I make mistakes, because I'm always learning, and I just know that it's a part of the process. And I do think I'm going to go back into the classroom full time one of these days. And I'm looking forward to that, like really embracing that part of the learning curve, and just allowing my students to understand that, you know, like, just like what we always say, you're more than a letter grade. You are more than anything that you can imagine. And this is a part of the process. If you made a mistake, what did you learn from that? What would you do better the next time? And that's what the best part of learning is all about.
I agree. That kind of vulnerability gets a lot of bang for its buck in the classroom too.
Mm-hmm.
When we're able to really tap into that and then show students that it's worth it. You know, validate them and support them in their vulnerability when we're vulnerable. I think that's one of the reasons. And I know Mandi and I talk about this all the time. That's one of the reasons why I love drawing, because it creates a moment of vulnerability. I think that's, you know, we say we have our guests draw with us because it's fun and to see you draw. Well, I mean, in all honesty, we're trying to make you vulnerable, you know, trying to make you a little bit uncomfortable. So when we talk to you, we get, you know, just some more off the cuff answers or whatever. But that vulnerability that drawing offers, I feel like, is a great highway, a vehicle to, you know, to really build that trust in the classroom.
For sure. Agreed. I love Shakira's song "Try Everything" for the Zootopia movie.
Yes.
I love that.
Well, so then go ahead, Mandi, was it you?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, you know, as we talk about vulnerability, so I was trying to draw some makeup on the screen, and it looks like Captain Hook's messed up arm.
It looks like some mascara that needs to be thrown away, honey.
I was going for mascara, but it definitely looks like Captain Hook has some barnacles or something.
No, I like it. I love it. That's how my mascara looks, honestly.
So then I'm going to go rogue from the bowl for a moment. How do you take a great selfie?
Okay. I love that you asked that. And I think that every woman or anybody that wants, like, yes. So here's the thing. Like, when you hold your phone, it makes a difference. First of all, wait a minute. Before we even get to the phone, you have to feel it. I can't tell you. I feel so much more sexy as a 40-something-year-old than I ever did when I was younger. And now it's like I embrace my curves. I embrace who I am. And even if I don't have my makeup on, I still can get those moments of just like, I feel so sexy and I want to share it. I don't know why, but maybe that's my Scorpio coming out. And so, I do share it. And Mac loves it. He never says anything except nice things to me about it. And then, if you have to have the angle just right. Okay. So Carrie, I don't know if you're looking at the screen, but that angle, so your camera's on, and then you maneuver it till you look at that and you're like, oh my God, I love what I see right there. And that's when you click it. But it is the angle. Like, this is not a good angle. You definitely want to have it at a tilt. And some people, they take it way up here. That is crazy. Don't be like, why are you looking at the ceiling? That's weirdness. I don't know why people are still doing that. If you just have an angle, you're still looking like a normal human being and you're getting the best sides. I probably don't have the best angle with my laptop. It's okay. I accept who I am. But like, you can, so that like with me and my chins, I like to not have them all in there. Okay.
Yeah,
and and then once you feel a little, like I said, you have to feel a little sexy in there. And then you like do some stuff, play with your hair, like pretend like you're looking at the person in your dreams, or, I loved Matt Damon. Oh my God. I had such a thing for him when I was younger. Matt Damon. I mean, like, you were looking at like, who do you want to burn up with your eyes right now? You know what I'm saying? And then you click and you capture it right there. So that's what you do.
Well, and I will also say too, I might have watched a YouTube video or two on this. You have to learn how to hold the phone so that you can click it, right? There's a piece to it. You have to learn how to hold the phone so you can do it with one hand too. So there takes some new muscle memory working in there.
For sure. Yes.
What did you say about Matt Damon and burning your eyes?
I just thought he was the hottest thing ever when I was younger. And so I'm like, you just have to, like, when you're thinking about it, like, who do you want to burn with? Like, who are you thinking with your eyes? Like, you're trying to get your sexiest self. And that could be very well your partner, but I don't know. It's, and sometimes it is, right? Sometimes it's not. Oh my God, I should just shut up.
No, I'm realizing that
it's definitely your husband. We got you.
No, I'm realizing that this Doodle and Chat is dedicated to Melodyisms.
Okay.
Embrace who you are. Burn with your eyes. 128 pages of satisfaction. It's just all Melodyisms all the time. That's what got here. I think we have time for one more.
Okay. Oh dear.
Here's like, look at this. Here's my drawing.
That is fabulous.
Thank you.
Those notes.
Everything, it's so funny. My husband's very artistic. And so like during the winter months, a lot of times on a weekend, we'll pull out, he has sketch pads. He's got all the arty stuff, and all of us will start drawing. And so all of my kids and my husband, they're so wonderful at creating things. I've never really thought I was very good at that. But when I sit down, I always draw hearts and I always draw music notes, and I always do something that symbolizes each one of them. And that's usually the hearts.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could choose your favorite dance around the kitchen song and dance move, what would it be?
That is hard, because do you know that I do that a lot?
When that fact about you was shared, I figured that it probably does happen quite frequently.
Oh, I wonder, did you talk to Mandi? I wonder who shared that.
It was either Rochelle or Mandi.
Okay, it had to have been Mandi, because we like track each other on the phone, and I'm usually dancing, or our watches. I'm like dancing up a storm. Honestly, I have a playlist, and it's called Witch. It stands for W is woman in total control of herself. It's actually a song that's really hot right now. And I created a playlist, and it's all women artists, and dancing to every single one of them. They're from throughout the decades. Even Dolly Parton is on there. But I would have to say, I don't want to play this song right now. Okay, nope.
Yeah,
that's
don't
not the
play it
song.
because we'll get tinged.
Yes, and I'm trying to just pull up the playlist, and so that I can. Which one would I actually?
Is it
dance
which with an
to?
H or with a T? Is it which like which
It's-
one or which like?
It's like witch, like WITCH, woman
Okay.
in total control of herself.
Oh, you said that. Duh.
Yeah. And that's actually my go-to right now because it's such a great song. Oh my gosh, but Lizzo is also. Oh my gosh,
Oh.
Lizzo.
Love Lizzo so
I
much.
agree
Yes.
with both of the songs.
You like them? Annabeth
Yeah.
likes both of those songs.
Mhm.
Okay, I've never heard the witch song, so
You
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna
yeah,
have to
you're
listen to
gonna
that.
have to. It's good.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. I would have to say though, Lizzo is probably the one I go to the most. And It's About Damn Time has been, I mean, obviously my 4-year-old knows all the lyrics by heart. So if I said anything else, I'd be a liar. So
No, and I love my new addiction. I don't know what you call it, addiction, whatever, is sketchnoting songs. I love that.
yes.
And Lizzo is so fun to sketchnote because she's so visual and how she sings her songs.
Yes.
She gives you so much to imagine in her words. It's just, yeah, she's fun.
I wish that we'd had more people like her when we were growing up to see that like you can be yourself and be completely beautiful, large and beautiful, large and in charge. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I love that you did a fridge, Mandi.
Do what?
Yes, I danced by my fridge, honestly.
Yeah.
That's very accurate, Mandi.
It does look like you're jumping in the air, but that's okay.
Is recording up 2 hours?
I jump in the pool. So we have a gym membership, and the only thing I really use is the pool. I go swimming with my kids every other day, and I jump in that pool because in real life, jumping is not as easy as it used to be.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
True story.
I tell my kids, never stop moving. You don't realize that you move less and less unless you make it a priority, and then you can really tell.
Agreed.
Okay, so we have the songs, but what about the dance move?
Oh,
okay.
Producer here.
You know what I mean? I'm already starting in my head. Like I just, I don't know if there's a name for it. The dance moves, I just, I go for it. Like when I'm in my kitchen, I don't really care who's watching. And my kids are never, they're never like, oh, what is she doing? Like they know. I love the Running Man and the Roger Rabbit from the good old days, and I can do those still. Like it took me a while to get back into the Running Man, but I can do those, and I will do that. Maybe not on this show, but I bring back all the '90s moves for sure. And I just shake it.
We're
If
like
you just shake it, you're okay.
and we're like the best dancers in the kitchen. Like
Yes,
the moves are just unbeatable. Nobody can beat kitchen dance moves ever.
that's right. It's like singing in the shower.
You got it.
Awesome. I love it too. Now I just want to go and dance. Like I'm so. Oh, it's been. Yeah, this is crazy.
Someday when we hit it big here on Doodle and Chat, we'll have free copyright reign of songs and we can dance to them without getting destroyed by the YouTubers.
For sure. Lizzo, if you're watching, thank you.
There you go. I'm sure she's going to see this. No
Yes.
problem. She's a viewer all the time.
Listen,
What would you actually do? Who would you guys would be your dream to meet in person, like celebrity?
I mean, we do have a list, to be honest with you. We have our list that we're working up to. I think one of my top would be Sunny Brown or Brene Brown would be a top. I mean, that would be right up there with you. What about you, Mandi?
See, I'm not going to go educational heroes. I'm going to say Ryan Reynolds all day long.
Oh, he would be amazing. You know what? I bet he would do it too.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Reynolds. Every day. I have watched him like from Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was thinking of a different person. Okay. Yeah.
Were you thinking of Ryan Gosling?
Oh, no. Who's the author? Isn't there a Reynolds that's an author?
Yes.
Oh,
Jason
no
Reynolds,
authors.
Jason
Yes.
Reynolds. Like which Reynolds?
Peter
No,
Reynolds.
So
Peter
he
Reynolds.
wrote Stamped. He was the one that co-authored Stamped, and he
Oh.
does. Are you talking about that Reynolds?
Jason
Jason
Reynolds or Jason Reynolds?
Is it Jason Reynolds who wrote Stamped and Ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was the wrong Reynolds then. Okay.
Also,
So Ryan Reynolds,
Ryan Reynolds is very different, Mom.
I don't know that Ryan Reynolds would be like, I would die. You would have to pull me out of a corner from barfing.
with
I would be
Ryan
so-
Reynolds.
Oh yeah. God, I love him. He's so gorgeous.
He would be so kind as well. I feel like he's really like an encouraging person. And Ellen,
would.
I would freak out if I ever got to meet Ellen.
Yes, she would be amazing.
I was trying to move it and it wouldn't move, so I had to delete it. I want it as like a magnet on the fridge.
We have a tons of like letters and numbers on our fridge for Whit and all the little magnets for him.
Back in those days. Oh, you were making your witch into the letters from a magnet. That's so clever.
That is
Man.
so cute.
That's what I was trying to do, but it wouldn't move. So there we go. Okay.
That's amazing. I love that.
You're zooming for us, Mandi, so we can see.
Oh,
Oh, look at those moves you've got, Melody.
yes. Look how skinny I am. That's amazing.
Listen, I have the option. That's how I'm going to draw myself too, right there. So.
Yes.
All right, I've got Melody doing the running man here. See how good you are?
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
I'm actually quite proud of these legs.
I
That's
love it.
really good. I think that's
Yes.
amazing.
It is. I am like in awe of both of you. This is just incredible.
So much fun. I think I laugh so much on this Doodle and Chat. I also feel like crying. So, but in a good
Aw.
way. Just in a really good way. There's just something about you, Melody, that's really very, very special. And so much fun laughing with you and smiling and having some wonderful conversations that need to happen more. And I love your vulnerability. And I'm just so happy that you were here with us today.
Me
Yes.
too. Thank you, ladies, so much. Like seriously, it's such an honor. Now I'm a fan of Mandi as well. I'm so glad I got to meet you.
Yes.
And just like this has been an amazing show to be on, and I'm just so honored. I appreciate it because I've seen a lot of really cool people be on your show, and I've got to enjoy it as somebody that's watching and just learning along. And so it was really an honor to be invited. So thank you.
You're welcome so much. We really, besides the fun of getting to talk to, people, we really want to shine a light on all types of educators so that people can see, and hear their stories and get to know them just a little bit more. And then also just have some fun drawing and chatting with people because, it's fun.
Yeah. Are we about to say goodbye?
We are going to be about to say goodbye. We'll have Annabeth zoom in on each of us. Look at me. Look at what Melody did.
Yes.
Oh, the football and the baseball.
Yes.
Yay.
Chiefs Kingdom and Royals forever.
Yes. Whit Merrifield, if
That's
you're
right.
listening.
There we go.
Oh, that is so sweet. I love
So
that.
cute.
Awesome.
So cute.
Oh
And
my
this is
gosh,
the
I
first,
love that.
this is a first for me adding color. So, woo.
Wow. Do you guys, what do you like? Are you going to like post a picture of this? I want a poster. I want both of these as posters. Like, I'm so vain. I want them right here and right here.
Yes, we post them on Twitter and Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll
All
send
right.
you some pictures of them for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we can.
It's funny that
Uh-oh,
she's
we
muted.
lost Carrie. You're
She's
muted. Maybe we can sing "You're So Vain."
I had a dream there were clouds in my coffee, clouds.
Oh no,
in my
we need to
coffee.
stop. We need to stop.
Okay, sorry.
So sometimes YouTube kicks us off.
Oh, really? I thought it had to be longer than 30 seconds of it.
Well,
Well,
so
we-
in old Doodle and Chat time, like they could just mention it and they would just get booted.
Yeah,
Right.
I think StreamYard filters things a little bit better, but we have been dinged by the bots, even for saying anything that starts with the mouse company. Oh yeah, we've been kicked off, you know, so we've had experience with the bots. So we get really like
StreamYard
Oh
is
my
much
gosh.
more forgiving.
yeah, StreamYard is much more forgiving, 100% more forgiving.
I love
we,
StreamYard.
we had code words.
Yeah, it got to the point when we were streaming off of YouTube where it actually worked well for Doodle and Chat, where we would talk about things around the things to describe the things so that the person that was watching could guess what we were talking about. It was actually became quite a joke, but yeah, so we've been conditioned not to touch anything copyright.
Wow. That's incredible. That just means that, you know, like you're zeroed in on because a lot of people are watching.
Yeah. Well, yes, we do have a lot of friends that join us here. I think if we
Mhm.
turn off, I just want to wrap things up. I think if I'll mute myself here and then the camera will be, and then we'll do that. Right?
Boom, you did it.
God, seriously? Technology, I hate you. I hate technology. God.
I got it.
Again, keeping it classy here. Well, the microphone has to be by me so they can hear me.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, thank you for those who joined us tonight. So if you joined us tonight and you also doodled, we would love for you to post your doodle on on Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag Doodle and Chat. Or if you're watching it later, we would love for you to do the same thing.
Yes. And then join us back here next Wednesday, August 3rd at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, when Mandi and I start where we have Doodle and Chat aerobics. If you subscribe to our newsletter, at the end of the month, we're going to be sharing on our newsletter with this very special activity that teachers can bring back to their classroom. And then the first Wednesday of every month, we're going to Doodle and Chat that activity live with other teachers. So we'll make sure that we put the subscription button to our newsletter in the show notes. We'll share it out on Twitter, and then join us. We have our own cheering section. And then join us back here next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we're a special edition of Doodle and Chat aerobics. I forgot what we called it. Story something.
Ooh.
Do you remember what we called it, Mandi?
I don't remember either. So it's a surprise.
It is a surprise. It's a special storytelling activity. So we're super excited for that new edition of Doodle and Chat to be here. All right, friends, have a great evening, and thank you for being here with us.